तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. Though we were studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, yesterday was Master Maharsh's birthday according to Indian calendar. And we thought it will be best to read about him. And in the Bengali Kathāmritam, at the end, Master Maharsh's brief biography is written by revered Swami Pitambarananda when he was the president of the whole Ramakrishna Math Mission. So we took it up and we read quite a lot. And today we are determined to read the remaining. Now I want to read one or two paras again of what we read yesterday. So after Thakur's passing away, Master Maharshi went to several places of pilgrimage and had contact with many sadhus and did lot of austerities or penances. Puri, Kashi, Vrindavan, Prayag, Ayodhya, Haridwar, and Dakshineshwar in the hut within Panchavati where Thakur practiced sadhana. He stayed for a long time, but in that damp hut, he became sick and he lost the power of walking. And then Premanand Swami took him out and put him in a carriage and took him to his house. And he used to stay in Varanagar Math with the sadhus many days. And in Dakshineshwar, in the Navvat room, he stayed many times. And when he was in the house, midnight he used to roll his bed and take it to the Calcutta University Senate Hall veranda. Calcutta University Senate Hall veranda. I think I mistakenly read library. Senate Hall veranda. From there, many homeless beggars used to sleep and used to unroll his bed in one of them and sleep there. So that he wanted to feel, I am also homeless. I am also without any support other than Bhagavan himself. And some people used to ask him, why you are doing so much hardship? He used to reply that the ideas of house and relatives does not leave the mind so easily. And so I am trying all this. Again, like yesterday, let me continue. Okay. So, on any celebration day, he used to, on the bank of the Ganges, he used to observe the sadhus in the depth of night. I think I will have to shift it to, this A2 is not working at all. I hope that A1 will work. Sometimes at the Howrah station, we used to see the sadhus on way or back from Jagannath Puri, or from them used to beg for Mahaprasad, Jagannath Mahaprabhu's Prasad. And to feel constant company of Sri Ramakrishna. In his house, he used to spend most of the time in reading the diaries which he had written at that time. And he used to meditate on the contents of that diary. He used to, for a month, he stayed in a hut near our Kankal ashram. And Turiyananji was staying in Kankal. So with him, they used to walk and discuss about Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes he used to live on boiled food, sometimes staying in the hut, sometimes sitting below a tree for a long time, just to feel like the old rishis. When he was staying in Mihijam, there was a well-built house, but he stayed in a hut. His mind was tied up on such a high level. For a long time, people used to hear Gayatri Mantra being chanted from his mouth. So he was always immersed in the thought and ideas of the ancient rishis. And one day while explaining some mantra of the Upanishads, he was so overpowered that he had to lie down on the bed for a long time. And we read about his thought of death, which he says keeps a man away from the vanities of the world. Now, additional, we read in 1905, after being professor in several colleges, he purchased the Morton Institute. And it was in Jamapukur, but then it was shifted to Amher Street. On the fourth floor of this building, he used to stay. And on the terrace, he had grown tulsi, the basil leaf, and many flowering plants, and he used to sit within them and used to talk on God. A room on the fourth floor terrace was his living room. Only once in a day, used to go to his house in Guru Prasad Chaudhary Lane, and whatever arrangement is necessary for the householder's life, that used to make in once a day visit. And after some days, he given up that also and used to completely stay in the thought of God. Now, he published himself in English, first a small pamphlet and then equivalent to the Bengali first volume, that much he had published in English, and that brought the whole world being attracted to him, and he had to meet many devotees, and so he used to be lost in the discussion with them. If he used to get devotees and sadhus, he would be lost in joy. One cannot judge his character unless one sees him immersed in talking with devotees and sadhus with so much joy. And he used to talk so sweetly that many devotees and seekers of truth used to get lost in that joy. Whoever used to come used to see Master Maharaj is busy in reading some spiritual book and discussing Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. The flow of his nectar-like talk used to go on. Bible, Puran, Upanishad used to give quotations. Jesus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, from their life, many corresponding events used to quote. And if anybody brought some other topic with great shrewdness or expertise, used to turn the mode and come back to spiritual talk. One day in Dakshineshwar, Thakur had seen him thinking of giving up house. Then he had told him, when you had not come here, you had forgotten your real nature. Now you will come to know yourself, and you will come to know that you are born only to spread Bhagavan's talk. And it is a providence that those who are going to spread Lord's talks, Lord's things, the providence keeps them bound to household life by some fetter. That is how you are in the house. So don't think of leaving and becoming a sadhu. So he was, as Thakur used to say, authority. So he had received that authority to talk about God and write about God from Sri Ramakrishna himself. Now, another beautiful side of his life. His love for Thakur's sannyasi disciples has already been described. He used to keep the photos of some of Thakur's sannyasi disciples in his house and worship it. When Swami Brahmananda was sick on his deathbed, he spent most of his daytime with him, near him. And after Brahman Swamiji passed away, on his own bed, he had shed lot of tears. So much was his love and adoration for Brahmananda Swamiji. Now, an important incident. In 1890, Kali Krishna, the future Swami Vivekananda, and 3-4 of his friends, they were his students in Ripon College, but they were not aware of his spiritual side. They became attracted to Rambabu's spirituality and used to go to his house in Kakurgache. But that the spirit of renunciation within. And Rambabu in those days was filled with different ideas. He used to say Bile, that means Narendra, his childhood name. Bile never accepted Thakur. He used to only argue. That is how he used to talk about Vivekananda. And his idea was, if you believe that Thakur is God, then what he talks is Shastra. Why you require any other scripture? And once you give the attorney to Thakur, you don't require any sadhana or bhajan. His idea. Is it easy to give attorney? It was only Girish Chandra who could do that, nobody else. And suppose Rambabu used to, that cannot be the universal teaching at all. How Thakur trained the sannyasi disciples and how much sadhana they had discussed. Naren had once discussed and other sadhus with Master Masha that Rambabu criticizes us, he does not like our sadhana. Then Master Masha has told them, because he is senior to them, that let him have his own ideas. You will do as Thakur has told you. And another idea of Rambabu was that even if you live in your house, Thakur will shower his grace on you. That also he did not understand that it is not for all. Had it been for all, then why Thakur trained all these disciples to be sannyasis? Because of this attitude of Rambabu, they never heard about Varanagar Math or sannyasi disciples of Thakur. But within a few days, they discovered in their college that this English professor never wasted any time. As soon as he had no class, he would go to the terrace and open the diary notebook. So they became curious to know what is in that notebook and what does he do. And with so much concentration, he used to be lost in that notebook. And they noted his behavior different from other teachers. So they wanted to come close to him. And they came to know that he has noted Thakur's sayings. Then he invited them to his house. And when they went to his house, Master Masha has spread a mat and make them sit there, and he also sat with them, not as superior teacher, though they were students. And he won their hearts like this. And he told them, see, Thakur was renouncer of Kamini Kanchan. If you want to understand him and you want to know what he taught really, then those disciples of his who have given up communication, there you have to associate with them. The householders, he was a householder, but he's telling householders, whatever they may try, they can never explain Thakur's real ideas. So it is he who taught them to go to Varanagar and mix with the sannyasi disciples. So that is his great contribution. We see his students used to bring to Thakur, and many of them became sannyasis. And later on, his students, he directed them to Varanagar Math and they became sannyasis. So he has helped the growth of the mission in this way. So though he was a householder, he used to praise the renunciation so much that many others became sannyasi due to his teachings. Three categories: sending to Thakur, sending to his disciples, and inspiring them to take up sannyas life. To one, he had said, either sadhu sangha or nissanga. Either associate with the sannyasis or do not mix with anybody. If you mix with the householders, surely you will fall down. He also used to say, if you do not get the association with the sadhus, then photos of sadhus, pictures of sadhus, you should keep in your rooms and meditate. And he used to say that the essence of Sri Ramakrishna's teaching is renunciation. And he used to say that Thakur taught renunciation even to the householders. He used to say his teaching to the householders had hidden seeds of renunciation. And in many lives, this seed grew into developed plants with flowers and fruits. So within the householder's life also, used to show that Thakur's teachings have produced renunciation, though they were householders. To somebody he taught, see, God has arranged sun and moon to give light to people. And he has sent sadhus in this world to give the spiritual light to people. Sannyasis only can catch God more. They are going by the straight path. They alone can realize God. The devotee objected, saying that so many sadhus are there. Do they hold on to the highest ideal? Master Maharshi used to say, seeing them one feels awakened. They have given up everything and become sadhus. And used to say, Chaitanya Dev, once there was a donkey and there was the ochre cloth put on him. Seeing that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had saluted him, seeing the ochre cloth on a donkey. The worldly people have already tainted and they are getting more and more tainted. Like that, used to talk. If sadhus commit some mistake, they will throw it off, they will wash it off and proceed their path. So whatever good you can get from sadhu sangha, you should get. And any sannyasi visiting him used to make him sit with great honor and find joy in discussing with it. He used to say, a sadhu has come, God has come in the form of a sadhu. Stop all your food and drink and bathing and be associated with him. He never allowed a sadhu to go empty-handed. He used to feed them something or the other and used to say, I am worshipping God. This is the prasadam. So mixing with him, sadhus also understood their ideal and became more alert about realizing their goal. All those incidents, etc., which make the mind think of God, as he was eager about that, he used to, those who listened to him, to them also used to fill with those ideas. He had told one devotee one day, now and then you should go to Dakshineshwar. Tomorrow is Ganga Dashara. You should go there and see the puja. And he used to quote, Hanuman had asked Ramchandra, how should I always remember you? To that Ram had told, you should see the religious festivals. That will make you devoted to me. And he had great devotion for prasadam. He used to take it, touch it to his head, and then eat it. And he used to say that what the sannyasis or spiritual people give you, that is prasad. Now, sannyasis who were much junior to him in age, he could not accept their salutation. If somebody touched his head to the floor, he should say, please don't, please don't. Thakur used to say, in sadhu's body, God lives. So you must seat the sadhus on a good seat. When Thakur has shown so much love for the sadhus, we should follow that. So though Master was blessed with coming in touch with Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Keshav, yet he was always eager to serve others. He never used to accept the seat of a guru. He never gave mantra diksha to anybody. Those who were associated him for a longer time, toward them also, he never behaved like a teacher. And he never used to tell something as if from his side. But everything in Thakur's language he used to tell. He never punished anybody. On his tongue was unlimited blessings. On his face, a divine light. He used to be happy with the association with devotees. He used to say that if I did not get opportunity to talk to devotees or sadhus, it was very difficult for me to pass my life. And never used to discuss other things. Always peacefully, and many pleasures and miseries could not disturb him much. His life was very simple, without any pomp and show. Though he was well off financially, but in his life, in his dress, he used to be very, very simple. He used to say that was Thakur's advice, to live as much simple life as possible. Whatever is necessary for keep of the body, that much food, or whatever is necessary to cover your body, that much cloth. If you live like this, then you can always remain devoted to God. Now, all of us should remember this, whether householders or sannyasis. Never, never, never go after beautiful dresses or pomp and show. As simple as you can live, that much devoted you can be. And Thakur had told him one day that if you renounce mentally, it is enough. That itself is sannyas. And so Gambhiranji writes that master had attained perfection in this type of sannyas. Sri Ramakrishna's gospel or Kathāmrita is the highest glory of his life. About this he had told, from childhood I had a habit of writing the diary. If I listen to some good lecture or godly talk, immediately I used to write the important points in my diary. Because of this habit, whenever I had association with Sri Ramakrishna and heard his talks, I have noted giving the date, day and everything on that talk. And he also said, because I was busy in my householder life, I could not visit Sri Ramakrishna as much as I wanted. So, I should not forget everything, being in the pressure of worldly life. So, that is why I wrote, and again I used to read that. From one visit up till the second visit, I was busy in writing about it and reading the same thing again and again. And that was in the beginning for my own benefit. The only purpose was that I should benefit spiritually by that. Then, in 1897, a small pamphlet he had published in English, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And Swami Vivekananda had liked it, and others had liked it so much and praised it so much. And they started inspiring him to write more. One thing he has not mentioned here, Holy Mother, he read out, Holy Mother heard that he has written something. She asked him to read out, and when he read a little, she said, exactly, I feel Thakur is talking, and Thakur had kept it with you. Now you must publish it for the benefit of people. So this became his additional source of writing. 1907, that gospel was published in large edition. Now, Ramchandra Datta, a positive point, when Ramchandra Datta came to know he has written, he pressed him to publish it in Bengali. Ramchandra Datta pressed Master Masha to publish it in Bengali, and 1902. So remember, 1897 first in English. That was expanded in 1907. But Bengali first volume published in 1902 and published by Trigunathan Swami, Trigunathan Swamiji in his Udbodhan Press. 1904 second volume, 1908 third volume, 1910 fourth volume, and then his health and other things and kept him so busy that the fifth volume came out in 1932, and he saw some proofs and passed away. So the volume was published after his passing away. Now his devotion to Holy Mother was supreme. He used to bring her and make her stay in his house and serve her. With financial help also used to go to Holy Mother. Helping other devotees of Sri Ramakrishna and sannyasis of Sri Ramakrishna disciples, he used to spend money from his own pocket. Nobody knows accounts of these type of transactions. But we estimate that he was a middle class like owner, but the donation was quite significant compared to his income. "50 years after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, he was busy in spreading his message, and Phalaharini Kali Puja. Important date, Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Holy Mother as Shodashi on that date, and after some years, in 1932, the dawn, the morning after Kali Puja, just after finishing reading some proofs of Kathāmrita, 5th volume, he said, Ma, Gurudev, please take me on your lap. And he passed away. In between, he had got a disease. His hand used to pain like anything. But somehow, and that was the cause of delay of 5th volume. It was very painful for him to write. But somehow, he used to praise or this or that himself without taking anybody's help. He would heat some cloth and apply it there, foment it, without taking others' help. So he did not like taking seva from others. He liked serving himself to others. So, glorious life. Really glorious life. And I feel now and then, especially on his birthday at least once a year, and we should remember it always, but we should read seriously this life, or Chaitanya Swami has published that they lived with God and God lived with them, or any other biography of Master Masha we should read and feel thrilled and inspired. And now on this occasion of yesterday's Bengali Nag Panchami, which was birthday of Master Masha, for these 2 days we have been thinking of him. We have been thinking of Sri Ramakrishna's glory through Master Masha's life. Through all disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, we'll remember Sri Ramakrishna's glory. How he nourished this boy, how he kept him in sansar, though he had seen him wonderful signs, but he understood that he is the person providentially sent to publish this gospel, and so he kept him in his household, and yet nourished his spirituality in his own way. And that is how we find he used to speak harsh about sannyasi's life so that Master Masha will not be tempted, and used to praise the householder's life also for that purpose, but not routine householder's life. Again and again we find in gospel, yes, householder can also realize God, but if like that. So always with riders, always filled with spirituality. So that is how. Now, 15 minutes are left in front of us. One more thing I want to point out, other than this life, in the gospel, in the original Bengali gospel and in many Indian language translations, Marathi, Hindi, etc., the Thakur's talks are interspersed with many shlokas from many scriptures and many beautiful subheadings. Now in English, these two things are missing. And we are trying to read English. So, those who can read Bengali, those who can read Indian language translations, not all, because some Indian language translations have been translated from the English. There you will not find this. But those Indian language translations which are translated from the original Bengali, there you will find the benefit of so many shlokas from Shastras and so many subheadings, very beautiful subheadings to guide us to what is the content of that portion. And one shloka I wanted to point out. In the beginning we know this Tava Kathāmrita is there. But in the second or third meeting, he has published it much later than Abhedan Swamiji has written a stotra on Sri Ramakrishna, and from there he has quoted from Gita, he has quoted many shlokas and very apt shlokas. Let me show you one particular shloka. Oh, this third, fourth meeting is full of Gita shlokas. Very apt shlokas. Yes. Second meeting, Pancham Parichet, where he asked the first question to Sri Ramakrishna. After discussion of formless and all that, he asked humbly to Sri Ramakrishna how to keep the mind in God. For that portion, he has written a shloka, though in the Bengali Gospel, the source has not been given. It is from Abhedan Swamiji's Stotra on Sri Ramakrishna. Sansararnava Ghoreya Karnadhara Swarupaka Namostu Ramakrishnaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Improvisation in the Guru Stotra. The sansar is like a fathomless ocean. There, the boatman, like is Sri Ramakrishna. To that Sri Ramakrishna, my Guru, I bow down. So this is from Bhavedan Swami Stotra. Though he has not given the source, but we have found out. So please mention that. Okay? So we need not. I had kept it ready. If time permits, we could have. Should we today read the gospel which we are reading? Another 10 minutes are left with us. Why not? Let us read. That is April 6, 1885. Or let that be for tomorrow. We are not in that mood today. Let our mind be filled with Sri Ramakrishna through Master Mahashaya's life, and let us pray to Sri Ramakrishna to fill our lives day and night with Ramakrishna like Master Mahashaya. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapam Shravana Mangalam Shrimadatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.